and welcome everyone. Today's lesson will be about mechanics and precisely punctuation. Kindly open your writing coach, page 126. The lesson of today is using quotation marks with quotations. And this lesson is very important because we will use those mechanics in our person narrative writing. The objectives. So by the end of this session, you should be able to identify, understand aspects of using quotation marks with quotations. Secondly, distinguish between direct quotations and indirect quotations. As usual, use your KWL to write what you already know about the usage of quotations, what you want to learn, and what you have learned in this lesson. First, a direct quotation. What is it? It represents a person's exact speech or thoughts. This is direct. Whereas indirect quotations report the general meaning of what a person said or thought. Here you are just reporting, not exactly stating what that person says, but just reporting. Whereas the first one, direct quotation, you say exactly the speech or thoughts of that person. Okay, let's see examples and cases. Enclose direct quotations in quotation marks. For example, Luke said, comma, quotations. We are studying Cortes. So this is exactly what Luke says, and it is in the present tense. Second case, indirect quotations, not direct. And remember, one of the objectives of the lesson is to distinguish between direct and indirect quotations. So, indirect quotations do not require quotation marks. Why? Because we are just reporting the general meaning of what that person said or thought. So, we have the example, Jake said that Curtis conquered Mexico. All right, number 3, place a comma after an introductory expression. So we have Luke replied, comma. Make sure you put comma when after the introductory expression. Then you write the quotation. Number 4, place a comma, question mark, or exclamation mark inside the quotation mark with a concluding expression. I wrote the expression and that's it. So let me use a color. You see here we have question mark. It is inside the quotation, not outside. And this is a very common mistake. Students put it outside the quotation. So when you have a comma, question mark, exclamation mark, we put them inside the quotation, not quotation marks, not outside. Then in an interpreting expression with one sentence, use a new set of quotation marks to enclose the rest of the quotation. So we have he was born in Spain, comma. I close the quotation marks, said Luke. I put the comma, then I open new quotation marks and arrived in Mexico in 1519. Full stop. We close the quotation marks. So this is one sentence. Since it is interrupted by said Luke, we open a new set of quotation marks, then we close them again. All right? Finally, in an interpreting expression with two sentences, here we have two full sentences, not one sentence as this example. No, here we have two complete sentences. Place a period after the interpreter and then write a second quote sentence as a full quotation. So, De Soto was another Spanish explorer, comma, quotation marks, and that said the Jake. And here I put the full stop. the full stop of this sentence. All right, then I open new quotation marks. Then he found the Mississippi River, full stop, and I close the quotation marks. Okay, unlike the first one where we don't put full stop, only a comma and only a comma here, and we put full stop only in the end. You know, I put the first full stop here and the second one here because those are two different sentences, two separate sentences, complete sentences, not only one. So the first practice, labeling direct from indirect quotations. Read each sentence, then on the line provided, write D if the sentence contains a direct quotations, and write I if it contains an indirect quotations. For example, Angel said that he wanted to go to a movie. So here, there is no quotation marks, nothing. So of course, this is indirect quotations because I'm just reporting the general meaning or thought of what that person said. So let's go to number one. Jessica said, comma, quotation marks, I will come with you. I think this one is clear. It is the direct quotations because we can see them. They are there. Number two, what time does the movie start? Asks Angel. So this one also is a direct quotations. Jessica said, I think it's clear also this one. I'll look it up on the internet, quotation marks from a aisle until internet. Number four, Angel agreed that the internet was a good way to find out. Here I see no quotation marks, therefore it is indirect, which means I'm just reporting the general meaning of what that person said or thought. Finally, number five, he said, if you can't find it, I'll call the theater. So this is direct quotations because we can see it is there. From number 6 until number 10, this is homework for you to do it. Just D for direct quotations and I for indirect. If you need more information about it, just let me know and I'm gonna support you with the provided information that is required. Now we move to practice B, punctuating expressions. Rewrite each sentence on the line, adding commas and quotation marks where needed. Example, Zoe asks, will you help plan the book sale? Answer, what should we put? After Zoe asks, we put a comma, then we put quotation marks on the sentence that person says exactly. So let's try the first one. Alex asks, when is the book sale? So the answer would be Alex asks, comma, then quotation mark for what he asked. Number two, that's one thing we have to decide, said Zoe. Here we will start with the quotation marks, we put the comma, then we close the quotation marks, then said Zoe and full stop. Number three, I think there's one more. Yes. Why are we planning the sale? Quotation marks, and as you see, it is here. Let me change the color. You see, question mark, it is inside the quotation marks, not outside. Why are we planning the sale? Quotation marks, asked Daniel. So I will leave number 4 and 5 for you to do it as homework, just to check whether it is clear for you now, because you will be using those quotations a lot in your personality writings that we are working on. I hope you understood the lesson and it's clear for you. And as a final task, writing speaking application, write a brief conversation, imaginary conversation between classmates, and make sure you use quotation marks and commas properly. Take a picture, send it to me in private message, and have a lovely day. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me via Teams. Have a lovely day and take good care of yourselves, guys.